Good morning, all of you. Last class we have learned about accessing
series object and its elements. In continuation with the same, today we will start with operations on series object. In continuation with the same, today we will learn operations on series object, modifying elements of series object, the head and tail functions, vector operations on series object, arithmetics on series objects, filtering entries, and the last, difference between NumPy arrays and a series object. Along with it, we'll see some solved questions and unsolved questions. So, starting with operations on series object, the first operation is modifying the element of a series object. The data values of the series object can be easily modified through the item assignment. We can use the following syntax. You can see here, series object in a square bracket will give the index is equals to new data value. The data value here given will change the data value of the given index in the series object. Similarly, if I have to modify a range of values in a series object, then we can use the following syntax, like series object in a square bracket will give the start value, a start index, colon, then a stop index is equals to new data values. You can see in this example, I have taken a series object obj1 having the values 2, 6, 11, 15 on the index 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. I have to modify the value stored on the index 0. So what I should write? I should write obj1 in a square bracket index, that is 0, is equals to 1.25. You can see on the index 1 the value has been changed to 1.25. Similarly, if I have to change a value on index 2 to 5, that is index 2, index 3, index 4, then I should write obj1 in a square bracket 2 colon 5 is equals to minus 7.85. So this minus 7.85 has been modified to index 2, 3, 4, 5 is not there, so up to index 2 and 3 has been modified to the new value minus 7.85. There is another object 2, and this object 2 has been modified with the same range, but with the with index value, but with a step value 2. You can see here, object 2 in a square bracket, start index is 1, stop index 5, and step value 2. So 250 will be replaced to the index index 1, that is 0, 1, that is the second, and up to with the 2 with the step value 2 to the next one, that is D. So you can see in this index B, that is a 1, and index D, that is 3, has been replaced with a new value 250. Now similarly, we can see one more example. If we want to change the index of a series object, then we can change it by assigning a new index to its index attribute using the following syntax. There is one attribute, index attribute of the series object. We can use that attribute. So we can write series object dot index is equals to new index array. You can see here one object is there, the previous object is there with the 4 defined values. Now we will, the index is, previously the index is A, B, C, D. we want to replace this index with a new index, that is wxyz. We will write object2 dot index is equals to wxyz. Now you can see the output. In the output, the previous index abcd has been replaced with the new index wxyz. One thing must be kept in mind, that series object values can be modified but size cannot. So we can say that series object are value mutable but size immutable object. The size of the new index must match with the existing index array size. That is, we cannot change the size of the series object by assigning more or less number of indexes. You can see in this example, there is a object 2 having the 4 values of 4 indexes. But if I want to modify the index by giving the more number of index or less number of index, it will show an error message. You can see here I am trying to modify it by giving the 6 indexes, but previously there were 4 only. So now I am giving the 2 more indexes are there. So but the Python will give the error in such a cases. Move to the next. Next we'll see the 2 important functions in a series object, that is the head and tail function. Head, with the name you can understand, the head is used to fetch first n number of the number of rows from the pandas object, and the tail function returns the last n number of rows from the pandas object. The syntax is panda object dot head, in a bracket we have to give argument n. N is the number of elements. Similarly, pandas object dot tail, in a bracket we have to give n, that is number of elements. Here n is optional. If n is not provided, then head and tail function will return the first 5 and last 5 rows respectively of the pandas object. You can see the example here. One object has been created with the panda series function. So object 3 is equals to pd.series in a bracket np.arange. The starting value is 3.5, the last value is 60, and the step value is 7.45. So according to this argument, series has been created. You can see here in the output. Now on this object 3, the head function has been applied, object 3 dot head. So it will return the first 5 rows, that is first 5 values of this object 3. Similarly, if we apply the tail function, it will return the first 5 elements of this object 3. If I write object 3 dot head in a bracket 5 as a 7 as an argument, then it will return the first 7 elements of the object 3. Similarly, if I write tail 3, then it will return the last 3. You can see the last 3 elements of object 3. So this way we can use the head and tail function wherever we have to fetch some information or some number of the rows from any pandas object. Now the vector operation on series object. What is vector operation? That this vector operation we have learned in NumPy arrays also. So vector operation means that if we apply a function or the expression, then it is individually applied on the each item of the object. Since series object are the built up NumPy arrays or ND arrays, and they also support vectorized operation just like ND arrays. So we can see here example, there is an object obj2 having the 4 values with the index wxyz. Now we will perform some vectorized operation, like for example obj2 plus 2. Now you can see this plus 2 has been applied to all the indexes, all the values of each index. That is, plus 2 has been applied to index w also, x, y, z. So all the values has been increased by 2. Now similarly in the second example, object 2 into 3, that is all the values has been multiplied with a 3. Now object 2 is greater than 12. So greater than 12, that means it is a logical expression and it will return the values either true or false. That is a boolean value. So you can see it will be applied to all the individual elements, and it will return either true or false according to the value. The false, 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 and true. Similarly, a new object has been created. Object 4 is equals to object 2 power 2. That is, this is a symbol of exponent. So you can see each element has been squared. You should remember that each of these expression, though applied on a series type object, but is carried out on each individual elements of the series. So that is a vector operations. Now the fourth we will see the arithmetics on series object. Fourth, we will see the arithmetic on series object. We can perform arithmetic like addition, subtraction, division, etc. with the two series object. The operation is performed only on the matching indexes. If the data item on the two matches index are not compatible to perform the operation, then it will return none, NaN, that is not a number, as a result of those operations. You can see in this example consists of 4 objects, that is obj1, obj2, obj3 and obj4, having a different list or different elements on it with a different index. You can see in the first object the 4 values are there on the index 1, 2, 3, 4. In the second object the 4 values are there on the index w, x, y, z. Similarly, in object 3 there is a 12 values are there on the index 0 to 11. Similarly, in a fourth object the 4 values are there on the index w to z. Now we will perform some arithmetic operation like object 1 plus object 4, object 2 plus object 4. So you can see object 2 have the 4 values and object 4 also have the 4 values having the same type of index. So arithmetic operation can be performed. Similarly, object 2 into object 4, both the indexes are similar, so operation can be performed and both will be multiplied. Individual elements will be multiplied. In this case, object 2 minus object 4, here also the number of elements are same as well as the indexes are similar, so the operation will be performed. But in case of object 1 and object 3, if we perform an addition on object 1 and object 3, you can see in object 1 there is only 4 elements, in object 3 there are 12 elements are there. When we perform an arithmetic operation, what will happen? It will perform an operation on the first 4 elements of the both of the series, and after that it will return a none, NaN. You can see here NaN in rest of the cases, because it do not match with the index of the previous obj1. Now similarly, in a case of obj1 plus obj2, in case of obj1 and obj2, both have the 4 elements, but the indexes are not matching. So in this case it will return NaN in both the case, because it do not have any matching index. So one thing you can remember, that the operation is performed only on the matching indexes, and if the data items of the two matches index are not compatible to perform the operation, then it will return a none, that is a not a number, as a result of those operations. Now we'll move to the fourth. Now we'll move to the next, that is filtering entries. We can filter out the entries from the series object using the boolean type expression. Boolean type expression means, that is, it will return true or false. The syntax is we will write series object. In a square bracket we will write boolean expression or series object. Like you see here, object 1 greater than 5. So here it will perform a vectorized operation. So this greater than 5, this is a expression, that is a logical operation that will applied on each element, and it will return true or false. But if I want to find which element is true for this condition, then I should use this syntax, that is filter entering or filter syntax. So we will apply this syntax and write obj1 in a square bracket, obj1 greater than 5. Now you can see here all the values where the condition was true, that is index 1 is true and index 3 is true. Both the values stored on the index 1 and index 2 will be retrieved here. Similarly, in second case, object 2 greater than 10, here also it is a condition. Now accordingly it will perform a vector operation, it will return a value false, false, true, true. Now if I want to find the value which returns true for the given condition, then I should use the filter operation, and we can write obj2 in a square bracket, obj2 greater than 10. Now you can see here on index y it returns true and index z it returns true. So we will get y 11.0 and z 15.5. So what we have seen here, in the first two cases, in this you can see apply the comparison operators directly on the series object, and it works in a vectorized way, and this check applies on each element and then returns true and false for each elements. Now in the second case, when check is applied in a filter form, then it returns a filtered result containing only the element that returns true or false for the given boolean expression. So these are the operations that can be performed on series object. Now we will see the difference between the NumPy arrays and the series object. In case of ND arrays or NumPy arrays, we can perform the vectorized operations only if the shapes of the two ND array match, otherwise it returns an error. But with the series object, in case of vectorized operation, the data of the two series object is aligned as per the matching index and the operation is performed, that we have seen in the previous example. And for the non-matching indexes, NaN, that is none, is returned, that is not a number is returned. Now the second difference is, in ND arrays the indexes are always numeric starting from 0 onward, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. But in a series object we can have any type of indexes including the numbers, and in the numbers also it is not necessary that it should start from 0, it can start from any other number also, as well as it can have letters, labels, strings, etc. So these are these two other major difference between NumPy arrays and the series object. Now the next is after this is all about the series data structure. Now we will start the data frame data structure, and that data frame I will start in the next video. So I will after this we will see the some solved questions and unsolved questions. The solved and unsolved questions I will give in the PDF, so you find the PDF along with this video. So stay home, stay safe. Thank you.